A wonderful Fire Friday to the Find Your Fire tribe. Once again, here we are. For those of you who might be watching this for the first time, I'm Wendy Yorching, founder of Unique Spaces Caribbean and tribe mom of the Find Your Fire tribe. And every Friday, we have a special chi lifting event with an interesting, fascinating, energizing speaker. With me today, I have the amazing Terry Wildemann. Terry is an intuitive success navigator, and she actually is the founder of a process called SHIFTology, the inner journey. So I am going to let Terry tell you a bit about her, and then, of course, talk to you about what SHIFTology is, because that's a question we all have. And so without further ado, Terry, I'd like to invite you to take the floor. It's yours.
Thank you so much, Wendy. Well, what is it that I do? I'm an intuitive success navigator, but my clients tend to call me the intuitive truth detective because as an intuitive, very little gets past me. I tend to really be able to zone in very quickly and powerfully as to what the core issues are. And then from there, this is where shiftology comes in. Shiftology is the art of intentional, intuitive, and impactful change. So through the art of asking open-ended questions, I can get to a place where we can discover exactly what is the self-sabotaging stuff, the emotional baggage that gets in the way of our success and allows us to step over that finish line and grab that gold ring and really get, we can become successful, whether it's in business, whether it's in life, whether it's our health, whether it's our relationships, all those things are intertwined. And when we get to a point where we are really clear on clearing out those, when we're really good in clearing out those, the emotional baggage that influences all of it, life can become pretty good.
So Terry, in that case, you are a coach. What would you say is your coaching specialty?
That's a really powerful question. I love coaching entrepreneurial leaders, entrepreneurs who see themselves as leaders, who realize that their actions and what it is they do for humanity really makes a difference. So when I coach, whether it's fellow coaches or entrepreneurs from whatever area that they're in, because I don't necessarily work with a specific industry. I just love working with people who are in leadership roles. That's really my where I love to be. And again, they're entrepreneurs. That entrepreneurial spirit, that take charge attitude, that ability to be able to really positively influence people and create success by virtue of, and a really great leader, it's what I call servant leadership or thrill leadership: trust, honor, respect, integrity, loyalty, and love a fellow man. They themselves do what they ask their employees or others to do. They don't look at themselves as way up here, where I'm going. They are ready to put in the work and really bring their teams along with them and bring their clients along with them and learn with them.
Terry, that's actually the feeling I get coming from you, that is what you do. That's the kind of leader you are. Could you tell me if I'm hitting the nail on the head here?
Well, I think you're right. And not I think, I know you're right. And the first time I realized the impact of that was when, whoops, I just lost you. Hold on a moment. There we are. I was in my early 20s and I graduated from college. My degree was in criminal justice, law enforcement. And I hadn't gotten a job yet in my career. And I went to I was working as a server for this restaurant, brand new restaurant that opened up in my neighborhood. And soon I was promoted to the assistant dining room manager. And then the manager, she and I got the jobs together. She went ahead and became manager. I became the assistant dining room manager. And pretty soon I noticed that everybody kept trying to get scheduled on my watch. And I was wondering what that was all about. And what I learned was that my fellow servers, because I was a server also, at the same time, I was the assistant dining room manager. The nights that I was the manager, that's when everybody wanted to work on my watch because I was one of them also. I helped to clear the tables. I made sure that everybody got out on time. I was there to serve and help my fellow teammates. Whereas the manager, who was a server, when she got into that leadership role, would walk around the restaurant swinging her keys, thinking she was the cat's meow, and that was it. And everybody was there to wait on her and do as she said. Do you follow what I'm saying? And it wasn't until I looked at the calendar, I went, why is everybody on my watch? And one of the lead servers said to me, Terry, don't you get it? You are a team player. And because you're a team player, people like working with you. So that was in my early 20s. And that's when I really realized, oh, okay, I got it. And it's something that comes to me naturally.
Now, you did mention law enforcement, and I think
Yes.
I heard somewhere little birdie whispered to me that you were actually a cop at one point.
I was.
Come on, Terry, give that story up.
Okay. My dream was to always be an FBI agent. That's what I always wanted to do.
Oh, cool.
And so in order to be an FBI agent, you had to, there were different steps, whatever. So anyway, I ended up being a cop. I was a railroad cop. I was the kind of cop that I worked for a company called Conrail, and I was a Conrail cop that was back in the late 70s when women were really in law enforcement. It was rather interesting, let me tell you. And it was fascinating because I was a top athlete. I was running rings around the guys. They kept testing me because they thought no way could a woman do this. And no matter how they tested me, I always beat their tests. And then I ended up being accepted to the FBI Academy. And then I ended up leaving the academy about 2 weeks before graduation because some family stuff came up. And I had to make a decision between my career and my family. And I knew that my family would always be there, yet the FBI would not be there for me all the time. So I needed to make a tough decision. And that was that with the FBI career.
We've actually all had tough decisions at some point in our lives, so that would resonate with a lot of people. Did you enjoy the FBI training? When you did get a chance to follow that dream, when you jumped into it, did you enjoy it? Were you happy in it?
Oh my gosh, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Again, I was the top female athlete in my class. It was just so much fun. I really, really enjoyed it. It was very, very challenging. Needed a lot of discipline. It was intense. It was a lot of fun. It really was.
How long was the FBI training course? In case I want to quit, I just need to know if I have enough time.
Maybe 3 months, maybe, I think it was.
Okay.
To be an agent, something like that. Yeah, I think it was that was a long time ago, Wendy.
And that's 3 months having come from your law enforcement degree and being a cop for a while. How long were you a cop, Terry?
Oh, let me see. My whole law enforcement career lasted between the age of 23 and the age of 28. So I was in law enforcement. I was, in security, different types of security. I worked for a pharmaceutical company in security. I worked in retail security. I taught at a security school, so it was between that period of time that I was in law enforcement. And then I gave it all up because part-time I had a part-time business. The whole time I had a part-time business. And then let me see, when I was 28, I ended up going full-time, and I was owning a manufacturing company by then. And we built electrical control panels and baggage racks for the railroad industry.
My Lord. So Terry, connect the dots between being a cop, a security person, an FBI trainee, to doing what you're doing now, which is an intuitive.
Well,
connect the dots.
Okay, I'll connect the dots. My daughter was born 35 years ago, and 3 months after she was born, I went to school to do something fun, and I became a certified image consultant. That was fun.
That,
And
that was very
that was the
different
beginning
from
of
what
what
you're
I'm doing
doing.
today. That was the beginning of what I'm doing today. And it really just, so this business, the current business that I have really started 35 years ago, because what I realized was when you work with people, that I became a professional trainer, I became a certified executive coach, coactive coach, and stress management coach in between 2000 and 2002. But all that time, intuition played a huge role. And several events happened intuitively that saved my life, actually, that helped me to really understand that my intuition was key to success in a lot of different areas. And one of them was my daughter was only 10 months old. And my husband, we're a military family, we're US Navy, and my husband was gone doing some training, and we were moving in a couple of weeks. So I went to dinner and we said goodbye to my friend, and I put my daughter in a car, and we were in a little sports car. So the only way she fit in that little car was in the front seat, in the car seat, which was like a bucket in those days, and had her strapped in real nice and tight. But I didn't strap myself in. And I kept hearing the words in my ears, put your seatbelt on, and I ignored it. And I went out of the parking lot and I heard the message again, put your seatbelt on, except this time it was louder. I still ignored it. Duh. And then I got to a light and I heard a very clear, put your seatbelt on now. And I mean, I got yelled at. And I put my seatbelt on and the light changed and I went through the intersection and I got hit by a drunk driver. And in those days, we did not have the airbags. So if I had not put my seatbelt on, I would have gone through the through the windshield. So that's when I realized, I think I better keep listening. So yeah, and my daughter was fine. She had contusions on both sides, but she was okay.
Did you get hurt in any way in that accident?
My face hit the steering wheel, because I got pulled back by the seatbelt, and I was okay. I mean, I banged up,
But
black and blue face, that kind of thing.
was that one of those life-changing moments for you, Terry?
Yes, it was life-changing because I realized that if I had not listened to my intuition, I probably would not be sitting here speaking with you.
And what action did you take in your life once you realized that voice was there waiting for you to be listening to it?
I listened more and kept studying more and stepped more into trust. And little by little, different things kept happening. And with my husband being in the military, I think the most important thing that happened was when his ship went to Valparaiso, Chile. I was able to go visit Valparaiso and visit with him and where the ship was ported. And as I'm walking through Valparaiso, Chile, I realized that I had been there before. I'd never even heard of Valparaiso, Chile before my husband told me the ship was going to go there. And I knew I had been there. And that's when I realized, wow, this past life stuff, this is real. And when I got home to Miami to pick up my daughter, who my parents were taking care of her down in Miami, my second daughter, the neighbor next door gave me the book, Many Lives, Many Masters. And I could not put the book down.
Serendipitous.
And so that was the beginning of an incredible journey. My inward journey just kept getting deeper and deeper and deeper because it was about trusting that everything was happening at just the right time. And then from there, where the inward journey is concerned in Shiftology, it's about recognizing that our outer world truly is how we respond to things from the inside out, sets the stage for how things come back to us. Now, do tragedies happen? Of course they do. However, how you respond to those tragedies makes the difference in your health and your life moving forward.
It sounds
And
as
I've learned.
it sounds as
I'm
though
sorry.
it sounds as though you have another story attached to that learning, the tragedy.
Oh, I have a lot of stories, Wendy. We could be here for a week.
No. We are going in the right direction. There's obviously a personal story attached to tragedy happening and you finding the resource to respond to it in an expansive way. Would you like to share? You feel
Well,
comfortable sharing?
it's not necessarily my tragedy as much as it is just watching others going through tragedy and understanding how watching different responses to the, people going through the same similar situations and how they respond to those situations based on their own inward journey. So it's observations as a coach. One thing that's very personal to me is I was told I could never have children. Yet 3 weeks after I got married, I got pregnant and my daughter was born 9 months and 2 days later. So the difference is for me, 4 doctors told me I couldn't. And I'm like, yeah, watch me. So to me, it was, don't ever tell me no. Let's say, well, this is going to be interesting. Let's see what we can do to get to this, find solutions to get to the end result. That's where I'm talking about. And when we focus on what is really in front of us, when we allow fear to control us, that's where we get into trouble. When we allow fear, when we feel fear, see fear, sense fear within ourselves and in others, and take that deep breath, and ask for inner guidance to come through to assist us in walking through the fear to the other side of it. That's where the magic happens.
Terry,
So I see so many.
sorry.
Go ahead.
I was saying that I agree with you because I put my personal belief system as that fear is the root cause of all evil in the world. So
Absolutely. Without question. So it's not so much about a personal tragedy on my end as much as observation of tragedy within others, because I'm an observer.
so you've had the accident, you've listened to the voice, and you were doing all kinds of coaching courses, but you have taken it and evolved towards where you are now, which is mistress or master of shiftology, and you are the intuitive detective. So continue.
Yes. Well, there's more to that, because not only it's intuition, but it's also understanding how energy works. I became a Reiki master in 1998. Then from there, I studied EFT and magic happened there, which is emotional freedom technique. Then I studied neurolinguistic programming. Then I became certified in body code, then certified in emotion code, and then a body talk technician, on and on and on. So all of these holistic modalities amplified my healing gifts. And everybody can do this. This is nothing special on my end. I keep saying that everybody can learn all these healing tools and learn how to heal themselves first. And that's the beauty, that God has given these gifts, has downloaded these gifts to so many people and allowed us the opportunity to study them so that we can heal ourselves. And for those of us who don't want to work with healing others, okay, we do those. So all of that is included in my coaching. So that's where I say I help people get rid of the self-sabotaging nonsense, the baloney that doesn't allow us to cross that success finish line. And it's not just about the practical stuff in business. And this is a huge mistake that entrepreneurs make. They focus on the practical, the marketing, the sales, the marketing, the sales, the systems, marketing, sales, systems, on and on and on. And it's like, okay, stop. Let's put that on the back burner. Let's focus on you first, because people are buying you. They're buying how you make them feel. They're buying how the trust that you're creating within yourself and how it exudes towards other people. And when you're clear on who you are as an individual and who you are from the inside out, and that's the leader's inward journey, then people buy how you make them feel. And that's so important. So, that's one of the things when I see entrepreneurs that are really struggling, it's because they're continuously focusing on that practical side of business. And that's why I love harmonizing the spiritual, the personal, and the practical sides of business.
We are in such alignment, Terry. I have to say something, okay? You know that
Yes.
I'm a master feng shui person. And
Yes, I know.
our approach to feng shui is that you can have all the skill in the world, or the education in the world, or the money in the world, or the mentors in the world, if they are, business mentors or whatever,
Yep.
all the physical and practical things in the world, but unless the energy within yourself is strong,
Yes.
harmonious, and aligned, unless you're living from your core true connection to the divine energy, none of that is going to bring you to the place that you could potentially be in your life. You need to
You are
start
so
with
right.
that. You start with that, and then all the other things are needed. They're tools, they are mechanisms, and they are very, very handy, but it comes from you. And that's where, therefore, I start as well. So I think we are like this, you and I, in that philosophy.
You are.
Yes.
And we have said that several times in other conversations that we've had, because it really has to start from the inside out. And I love working and coaching folks who really, they don't know how to get there. And in fact, when you actually do know how to get there, you just have to get past your stuff.
Yes, because it's natural. That is the natural part of us that we've then sort of negated and dumped on and hid and put away in a cupboard because of the rest of the world, basically the way it operates and the way it tells us, the messages it gives us. So that's actually your true self. We just need to actually open the box and release it. And it sounds easier than it is. You need to do the work, but that's where having a coach or a mentor or good buddy who can be your guide in a way.
Your mirror.
Very, very handy. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is important to have that. And the thing is, every great coach has a coach. I actually have had 2 and 3 at the same time, because they may specialize in different things. And it really is important when you hire a coach that you ask them, and who coaches you? Do you have a coach? Because if they don't have a coach, I run away. Okay, I run away. Because what I know is, when the coaches that I've worked with that didn't have coaches, they actually were struggling. It's one thing to take a break from having a coach. That's different from, oh, I don't need a coach.
Understood the difference.
Why do you think?
Yeah.
There's a big difference. Why do you think professional sports athletes work with coaches constantly? There's a reason for that. So if a professional athlete is paying the big bucks to have coaching, what makes you or I any different in business in having a coach?
Terry, so with that, I want you to tell us what SHIFTology really means and is.
SHIFTology is a philosophy. It's a philosophy of accountability. It's a philosophy of follow through. And it's the foundation of my entire program, coaching program, as well as my personal and professional development program. Because I can teach you professional development and personal development constantly. But if I'm not holding you accountable, and holding you accountable to those times when you don't follow through, it's about looking at your life with a magnifying glass. What areas am I not holding myself accountable? What areas am I holding myself accountable? What areas am I too hard on myself? And what areas am I too flexible with myself? What areas am I not listening to the truth that is right in front of me, but I'm too scared to look at it? So it's about shifting. And shift stands for spirit, honor, intuition, respect. Whoop, did I lose you? Okay. Oh, you're muted.
We're going to have
There
to
you go.
say this again because my internet went a little wonky. So try again with this shift.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So shift stands for spirit, honesty or honor, depending on how you want to look at it. Honesty or honor, integrity, freedom, and trust. That's shift. So shiftology is about integrating all of those things. And when we do that, we give ourselves freedom, and we give ourselves the freedom to really live life from the inside out. So it's about shifting in everything that we do. And I have a little program that we start off with for 4 weeks to get people, give them a taste of what shifting is and shiftology is all about. And it really taps into all sides of your life, whether it's the spiritual, the personal, or the practical sides of business. And when we shift, and it can just be small shifts, but small shifts can make a huge difference. Your diet, how you eat, your exercise, what needs to shift there? Your relationships, what need to shift there? Do we need to hire somebody to help you do different things in business? What needs to shift there? So all of these little things, your environment, you of all people know from a feng shui perspective, what has to change in your, not has to, but what is best to change in your environment in order to create an energy of accountability as well as follow through where you feel good.
Terry, I have one
Yes.
last question for you. In fact, two.
Yes.
What is the thing you are most passionate about?
Living from the heart. Seriously, living from the heart. That's my biggest passion. Because what I learned, having burned out multiple times because I'm very intense, but breathing into my heart and living from my heart, it allows me to truly see what is in front of me and be fully present in the moment.
Beautiful answer. Now, could you tell me if people, I'd like to ask if Terry, Terry in the Zoom room and Monafi on Facebook, if you have any questions for Terry, please share them now. And Terry, the next and last question for you would be how people can contact you if they would like to. Yes.
Oh, if they would like to get in touch with me, they can. I'm on Facebook under Terry WIldemann. I'm on Instagram on intuitiveleadershipu. They can also go to my website, intuitiveleadership.com, or just send me a DM on Facebook.
And you're part of the tribe as well, so they can write you on the tribe.
I am part of the tribe.
Yes. Well, that's the easiest way. Okay.
That is the easiest way. Absolutely.
Let's see if we have any questions. Terry, do we have any questions for Terry?
No, I just wanted to say that I thought that, well, I don't know if it's just because we share a name, but I resonated a lot with much of what she said, and I thought that she was very inspiring.
Fantastic. And so with we have Monafi, or really her real name is Petal, but her tag is Monafi. She's on, and she just said so true a couple of times to your story, Terry. So with that, then I'm going to thank you from the bottom of my heart for this very interesting and inspiring and different journey that you shared with us, Terry. And I will be inviting you to communicate with the tribe through the thread when I post a video. That will be in a couple of hours. Please feel free to communicate with them. Okay.
Absolutely.
And so, to those of you who have watched the live, thank you so much for joining us. And if you do catch the replay, please let us know that you have caught the replay and leave your comments in the thread so that Terry can reply to you. So many blessings,
I will reply.
everyone. Thank you.
Lots of love.
Lots of love.